Hello and welcome to my podcast. This is episode one. And so, right out of the gate, I want to apologize for all of the mistakes I'm about to make. Um, I've never edited software before, I've never used this equipment, but I have this overwhelming desire to continue to do this, to try as best as I can. I'll continue to get help to make this better for you guys. But this podcast is essentially to, as much as it is to help me become a better person, it's to take folks on my journey and hopefully they can get something out of it. So my name is Naresh Samlal. That's spelled Naresh, 6 letters, Naresh. And I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And I'm married to a beautiful woman, Sharmila, and we have two amazing boys, Prashant and Ishan. And collectively, these three people are what drives me to do the things that I do, and certainly doing this podcast is definitely one of those things. So please bear with me. Thank you for joining me. I hope you continue to listen. I hope you share this. My hope is that this helps somebody somewhere, like things have helped me over the course of my life to this day. So I wanted to introduce the concept behind this podcast. It is something that I've been wanting to do for well over a year. There's this burning desire in me to share and help people grow. While I do that myself, a lot of what I do is for my personal benefit, my personal growth, professionally and personally. And I figured, why not take some folks along for the ride? I can't be the only one in that space. I can't be the only one that has to learn from my mistakes. If I can help somebody else, then why not share that? This does put me in a very, very, very vulnerable place. So that's why it's taken a year for me to actually record this and get this started. As strong as I feel, as confident as I feel, one of the things that I learned throughout this process was that being vulnerable affects everyone, including myself. And just the mere fact that you're hearing my voice today is proof that you could overcome that, because for the last year, it's kept me from doing this. So again, thank you for joining me. Feel free to share this if you think it makes sense, if it helps you, and let's go along for the ride. So I want to introduce a concept called the Spark Company. And this concept, I say concept because you can't just give it a single word label, but it's a concept of executing my dreams and desires to help other people execute their dreams and desires. And I'm doing so, as a result of a light switch, I'd say, that went off for myself and my family. Again, pre-pandemic, about a year ago, where we kind of came to the place, this juncture in our lives where we just really wanted to do something. We wanted to blow this apart. There's a lot of things we can be grateful for. And we are very much grateful for it. But I've always had this thing about reaching my full potential, and I felt like this could be an opportunity. And we collectively theorized this mechanism that we now call the Spark Company. And so the company is essentially a vehicle that we'll use to reach people and help them achieve their goals. At the same time, that is our goal. That is my goal for my kids, for my family, and for you. And so by me reaching my goal, you reach your goal, and it's a win-win, right? And so it's not for everyone. I am not perfect in any way. I don't know everything. But I do know that by me sharing what I do know and bringing people into the spotlight that know things that you may need to know, just giving you access to information, Not only things you can find on your own, but things that maybe, people don't want to talk about. A lot of things that I want to bring to the table would really get deep into people's minds, how they think, and what makes them tick, what really makes them tick, right? And that's not something that a lot of people are comfortable about talking. They're not comfortable talking about with other people. And so I want to bring that to a place where we can tap into people's minds and help understand how they got to where they are. Because you might be listening to this today and you have a burning desire to do something and you just don't know how to start. You just don't know how to get it from your head or from the pit of your stomach where you're on fire internally to do something. You just don't know how to channel that into action. And you may even know how to do that, but maybe you just need that little extra push to actually get started, like I did for so many things throughout my entire life. And I know that seeing other people, hearing other people, being with other people who has done that exposure has given me that nudge or kick in the ass in some cases to really get going. And for those, occasions that it's happened to me, there's been absolutely no regret. In fact, it's been anything but regret, but just complete gratefulness to those situations. And I feel very fortunate to have been through that so far. And it'll really more so look forward to what's to come. And, as I go forward with this mentality and go down this path that I feel is a lot of what, a lot of what will drive me and help the people around me grow and develop with me is what I want to bring you along for the ride for. So the Spark Company is a concept where I will strive to continuously bring you information, motivation, support, resources, what have you. Try to totally bring the best that I could bring to the table, to bring an environment that encapsulates all of the things that will create fertile ground for you to grow, develop, thrive, and help other people reach their goals with me. So, it's not one thing, it's not 10 things. It is the evolution of this concept by which I would like to create a movement of people that are doing things with forward momentum towards helping others realize their dreams and goals. And I'm not by any stretch of the imagination a therapist or a self-help guru or certified in any way. I'm certainly not educated, by conventional standards. I don't have a college education, but what I do have is experience and a lot of mistakes that I've learned from. And I want to bring those lessons learned to the table through different mediums, right? And this podcast is one of those. We'll support this podcast with lots of other channels by which we bring this information to you and bring it through different platforms and different mechanisms. Certainly in person one day when COVID allows us to return to some sort of in-person communication again. But in a nutshell, it is a concept by which we are going to connect with people, connect with yourselves, and just be a facilitator between you and the thing that gets you off your ass and motivated to go do something for you, right? And the idea behind that is we all want to do more. We just may be falling short of how we actually execute. And that's really the key. How do we move from a great idea or this burning passion to do something? How do we move the needle from that point to the point of bringing this thought, concept, or ideation to life and making it a real thing and not something that you regret not doing way back when, right? Because there's no time like now. And regardless of the state of the world that we live in today, there is opportunity around us like there never has been. Just like there's challenges all around us, like there never has been, there's equal, if not greater, opportunity in the midst of all these challenges. So, it starts with the thought process of seeing the positives in things. And I'm not wanting you to be naive to ignore the reality of what things are, but look a little closer in between the negatives and the challenges. Look through that, and there are clear opportunities for everyone because we all face those challenges. The difference is for the folks that choose to work through the challenge, swim through the garbage, and come out on the other end, there's huge amounts of greatness, huge amounts of opportunity, and we just need to have the willpower to do that and get to the other side. It's hard to do that by yourself. And that's what the Spark Company is all about, is doing that with you, helping you navigate those challenges, those hurdles, not making you feel like you're there by yourself, but instead surrounding you with an environment that enriches that thought process of, yes, you can do it, and this is how you do it. And we're going to hold you accountable to doing that. So if you're serious about doing something with your life, or you have something you want to execute, and you just need that little extra push or a big push, or you want somebody to hold your hand and take you there, we're here to help. I'm here to help. And that's what I'm about. We're going to bring you not just my voice. We're going to bring you lots of other voices of people who have actually done this stuff. People who you've never heard of, because there's real people that surround us that I want to make accessible to you. And have you look a little closer. There's people that that you haven't realized. The key is now go seek that information out. Do something about it. People want to help, but people who can help are not going to come to ask you if you want help without you meeting them halfway. You got to go get it, right? And by listening to this, that's a great start. So I'm going to do my absolute best to make sure that you get met halfway in that quest for doing more and be there for you to help you out. So let's connect with real people that have reached levels of success that are within arm's reach, and they can talk about those things. And I really want to tear apart how they got to that. What are some of their secrets, and really pull out some of the nuggets that they feel have impacted them and created this competitive advantage between them and the rest of us, to allow them to realize the levels of success that they have. And then I want to introduce an additional twist into this. And I think this is going to be, if I'm reading it right, I think this is going to be the sweet spot. And my kids, who are now 11 and 15, you're going to hear their voices on here. They are extremely brilliant kids. They are very smart. They're very business oriented. And that comes from my family and myself, and we just kind of, that's kind of our life and our thought process and how we think. And they've captured a lot of that. And so you're going to hear the voices of my kids. I want to be able to allow their voice as people who have no fear, people who have not been tainted with the world in terms of the pressures of other people's impression on them. People that are just innocent, that have not been burned and are not shy. They're not holding themselves back. They have nothing to lose. And that's fortunately the kind of an attitude that my kids have, which I think is an incredible benefit to the situation. And I want to bring them into the mix and allow them the opportunity to stimulate our minds. The next generation is, and I'm not talking about millennials necessarily, but children still in middle school and high school just have a different thought process that we can learn from today. And I want to bring them in and challenge them with questions that we are challenged with. And I do this with my kids, and I do this with other kids, and it astounds me. It's just impressive to hear the thought processes out there. And I think it's a missed opportunity by us not learning from that. And I think, given that opportunity, it's my belief that we will look internally to ourselves and say, come on, we got to do it for them. We got to do it for them. But if they're at this level of thought process, why are we holding ourselves back? Right. And so I want to bring that breath of fresh air into your lives by infusing it into mine first. Right. So I'm not telling you anything that I haven't done or am not doing, but merely open your eyes up to things that you may not be aware of. You may be aware of, and you just can't bring yourself to doing it. And I make that statement because I can relate to that. And again, you're hearing my voice because I've finally gotten to the point where I can't hold myself back anymore. And so, I'm really, really excited to do this. And the more I talk, I think you're going to hear the nervousness go in my voice, and you're going to probably get much sooner than later the best of me, which this is something I absolutely love doing. I love talking. I love sharing. And, when I'm driving into a situation, it's going to be a real treat. So my hope is that you actually gain something from this. You enjoy this. If you ever want to talk to me, I think it's an opportunity for you to come grab one of my mics. Let's do it remotely, whatever the case is, and let's talk. I think the more we talk, the more we communicate, whether it's someone just listening to the conversation or participating in the conversation. I think there's incredible value that can be gained from that. And you don't have to ask and answer a question to learn. The observation of this conversation in itself is going to incite that it's going to spark the desire within you to get off your ass and do what you're put here to do. And so I'm sure you can already hear the excitement in my voice changing, and I'm so excited to do this. I'm looking forward to it. I have a long list of fantastic guests that I want to bring on here and dive into their story. I'm hoping that in every episode we have somebody on here that we can extract a handful, no more than a handful, even if it's just 2 or 3 things that they can leave you with as nuggets, as things that really change their lives. Or maybe it's just behaviors or habits or thoughts or whatever they feel that that did it for them, that moved them from sitting on the couch to, while the rest of the world is watching TV and playing games or what have you, they put that time into building the foundation for an amazing life for them and their families. If you're listening to this, it's highly likely that that's what you're also looking for yourself. And I'm hoping that I can bring that to you. And it's not just going to be my voice, but hopefully with the wide gamut of people that I plan to bring onto the table, bring onto the mic, that you would be able to connect with somebody. And certainly not be limited to just me, or maybe not one of those people that you still may think is just so far ahead of you, and you can never get there because they started way back when, or the conditions were right for them, or they had help that you can't get, or all the other excuses you can think of that is, whatever excuse you can think of that is why it worked for them and it can't work for you. At the end of the day, it's garbage. It really is. And I want them to tell you why. And I want at some point in time that if you're feeling that way, that we have the opportunity to interact. And if not me, somebody in this network that can help interact and help you break through that particular that web that's holding you back right now. And so, edging on to the concept of the Spark company and what it's about, I just used a word that actually reminded me of what I feel is one of the biggest values of the Spark company concept, and that is a network. And so, helping you by providing you information and access to people is one thing, but there's power in numbers. And when I talk about doing it together, I yes, on one hand, it could be you and I doing it together and side by side with you. But on the other hand, it's giving you access to what we will create together, which is a network of like-minded people. And, when you're surrounded by people who want the same things that you want, the chances of you achieving that thing, that goal, whatever it is that you want, when you're immersed into an environment that is just conducive to that result, your chances just went through the roof. Your chances just became all the more real. It's just a matter of putting a time to it. You put a date and you go at it. And that's what I want to create here as part of this exercise, is to create this network of people that are like-minded, that are supporting each other, that are helping each other, that are participating in the path with each other side by side, and not just saying, I'm out here on this island, swim across and join me, but being there to throw you a life vest or throw you a rope to pull you in and help you and show you how to get there together. And so that's, in a lot of ways, that's the Spark Company. And again, it's a concept, right? It's an evolving concept where I'll continuously look for opportunities to be able to connect with people and offer a network of people and information and motivation and resources and all the things that I could offer and we can offer together to each other to be able to realize our goals. And let me also preface with, I'm not a therapist. I'm not, certified in any of this stuff. Quite frankly, let me just tell you right up front, I did not go to college. I do not have a college degree. You may wonder, why am I even qualified to have this conversation with you right now? I don't know, but I can tell you today I am employed as an executive in a technology executive for $1 billion healthcare corporation, and I have no formal college education. I've even been in this capacity at a higher education facility. So if you want it bad enough, you can get it, right? And so having lived through experiences like that, breaking down these borders and busting through the glass of a college education being a requirement and the world against you, and you're the underdog and you're not supposed to be there, but doing it anyway and showing up and getting it done anyway and kicking everybody's ass anyway, because that's who you are and you're going to do whatever it takes. That's what I can show you. That's the type of people I can get you around. That's the type of information I want to bring to you. And I'm not in any way saying don't go to college. That is not what I'm trying to say. What I am trying to say is that you have options. And what the book says to do is not always the only way to do it. And, as we evolve, maybe not the right way to do it. So I just want to be clear. I'm not saying don't go to college. College is a bad thing or any of that stuff. I'm just saying that's how I did it. It can be done. Anybody can do it if you want it bad enough, right? And that's what I want to bring to the table. And so as long as, you understand what to expect here, you don't have to like everything. I don't expect you to. I don't expect you to like my voice. I don't expect you to like my accent. I don't expect you to like my name. It's none of that. Come here for what you get out of it. And my goal is and hope is that you get something, some nuggets, some bit of information, some bit of motivation that helps you break through those barriers that are holding you back from achieving your goals and living your best life. And so, I think I've beaten this horse to death on what to expect, what this company is about, which, and that answer, all those answers will change. It'll evolve, it'll mature, it'll get better as I get better at this. As I say that, I want to remind everybody, before you actually heard this, you might have clicked on it. And the name of this podcast is called Do Something, because doing something is better than doing nothing. And my entire goal sums up to helping you do something. Just like I have done something. I'll continue to do something, and I'll show you how I did it, tell you how I did it. I'll show you and tell you how other people did it. Let them tell you how they did it. But just do something, because until you do something, guess what? Nothing happens. Nothing changes. If anything, it gets worse. So get off your ass and do something. Thank you. Look forward to future episodes. I'm really, really excited about this. I'm really excited about what's to come, who's to come. I'm really excited about hearing your success, in the future to come. I'm really excited about bringing you a lot more opportunity to the table to you, but also bringing you a lot more information through different vehicles. So stay tuned. Please share this if you think it makes sense for you, or you know somebody that could really benefit from this. I really hope you appreciate those people in your life enough to share this with them and not keep it a secret, because we're here for each other. And if it's one thing I learned, is that you can't do anything by yourself. The best things in the world and the greatest things in the world came with the help of people. And if we don't help each other, you shouldn't expect somebody else to help you. So, we'll talk in great depth on so many principles that I believe in, and I know you believe in, and it's just downright good. But sometimes we, and many times actually, we overlook and we underestimate those principles. And so we'll talk about all those things, and you'll hear it from a lot of other people. But looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. Really appreciate your participation. Really appreciate your support. And I really look forward to seeing when you can do that for somebody else, and hear your story as well. So again, wrapping up episode number 1. Looking forward to the others. I'm really psyched, ready to go now, and let's get it done. Looking forward to a great future. Thank you so much, and talk to you soon. Episode 2 coming up.